another elephant shot, another slow and painful death. This young bull is just another of tens of thousands killed for his ivory. In Asia, ivory is a symbol of status, wealth, and tradition. With Asia's growing consumer populations, the insatiable demand for ivory is on the increase. But Africa has a limited amount, and supplies are running out fast. And it's not just African elephant ivory that is in demand. This is a story of Africa's animals today. A story of silent beings in distant places, from inside Africa's deepest forests, across its shorelines and widest plains. Starting at the Atlantic Ocean off the shores of Gabon, we begin a journey across the heart of Africa to introduce one of the world's richest zones of biodiversity. On our way east, we will meet some of Africa's most beloved animal species and follow a surprising trail of human destruction and consumption. Known as the African Garden of Eden, Gabon's tropical rainforests and savannas are brimming with life. In order to understand the sheer scale of the landscape, it is necessary to view it from above. The biodiversity, or the variety of life found here, is unique to this part of the Congo Basin. Some species thrive in the glades of the tropical rainforest, such as the African forest buffalo and the comical-looking red river hog. Both are popular sources of protein found in bushmeat markets. Gabon is Central Africa's conservation success story so far. Although the threats to wildlife exist, the government has recently developed a national park system and conservation strategy. Many species here have yet to be fully studied by science, such as the slender-snouted crocodile, whose skin is coveted for making bags and boots. Gabon is home to approximately 30,000 forest elephants, thought to be the largest population left in Central Africa. The forest elephants are genetically different from the savanna elephants of East Africa. Forest elephants are smaller, and their tusks are narrower and straighter than the savanna elephant's ivory. Forest elephant ivory is highly sought after in Asia because it has a pink tinge and is easy to carve into beautiful chopsticks and stamps. They are more endangered than the savanna elephants. Their numbers have dropped by an estimate of 60% over the last decade. As we travel further east, we cross the great expanse of the Democratic Republic of Congo, the second largest country in Africa. The Salonga National Park is one of the last forested regions left intact inside the DRC. A unique endangered primate, the pygmy chimp or bonobo, is only found within the equatorial forests of DRC. This chimp is also known as the hippie chimp, for its penchant for resolving conflict through sex. The species' numbers are in rapid decline due to continuous loss of habitat and poaching. The African gray parrot also lives here. Smart and curious, they are easy to lure into entrapment. African gray parrots make popular pets worldwide and are one of the most common species smuggled in the illegal trade in wildlife. 1,500 kilometers east lies the mysterious Ituri Forest, where one of Africa's most elusive endangered animals live. The okapi. Related to the giraffe, it lives a secluded existence in the deep forest. Soon after this footage was taken, the okapi station was attacked and burned to the ground by the Mai Mai Morgan militia from eastern Congo. The 14 okapis in the conservancy were killed, as well as 7 people. Today, this important conservation project is being optimistically reconstructed.
Rangers on patrol, they are facing, armed poachers. These armed poachers, they are equipped with guns, with machine guns.
In light of the fact that this station was previously attacked and destroyed, are the rangers here really able to defend themselves and the animals in the region of consistent insecurity and instability? The Ituri River is rich in alluvial gold, and the forest is home to forest elephants with valuable ivory. Can a few poorly paid rangers really defend such a vast region of primeval forest rich in natural resources? Currently, this river is being illegally dredged, and the miners are using mercury to extract the gold. Our closest living relative, the chimpanzee, lives in these forests. These eastern chimpanzees are hunted for meat and also captured for the illegal trade in wildlife. But it's not only animals that are threatened by the ever-encroaching outside world's demands on Africa's resources. The Mbuti forest dwellers, known as the Pygmies, are thought to have lived within this region for at least 15,000 years, harvesting forest resources sustainably. They are nomadic hunter-gatherers who live in complete harmony with the forest. As new access roads are made to reach logging concessions and mines, will the forest people of Ituri be able to retain their culture and peaceful way of life? At the eastern wall of the Congo Basin rises the Rift Valley's Ruwenzori mountain range, capped by the snows of Point Margarita and Stanley's Glacier. This dramatic range is the dividing line between the tropical forests of Central Africa and the vast savannas of East Africa. According to altitude, the biodiversity or variety of life here changes. Eastern lowland gorillas, constant victims of civil unrest in Congo, killed for food and even in revenge. Their cousins, the mountain gorillas, have better protection, especially in their Ugandan and Rwandan ranges. Because of worldwide interest in mountain gorillas and thriving and well-organized tourism programs in Uganda and Rwanda, their numbers have increased over the last decade. As we move east, the land opens into the vast savannas of East Africa. Away from the tropical rainforests of Central Africa, we now enter the Great Lakes region, prolific in the classic savanna species, and a huge variety of bird life, such as this endangered shoebill stork. The savannas of East Africa allow us to clearly see some of the planet's most diverse species living side by side. A reminder that all species on Earth belong and play critical roles in maintaining the health of our planet's ecosystems. As human populations and urban centers grow worldwide, we humans tend to forget that we are also part of nature. Without this variety of life, our planet's ecosystems will start to collapse. If we humans cannot control our consumption and demands on nature, we will face a bleak future. We have reached the easternmost part of our journey in Africa to find the largest mammals of the Great Plains: Cape buffalo, savanna elephants, and rhino. The savanna elephant is much larger than the forest elephant, and its curved yellow-tinged tusks can grow up to 3 meters long. Today, the large tuskers of East Africa are becoming harder and harder to find, as poachers have singled them out, one by one. Rhino horn is even more valuable than ivory, and black and white rhinos all over Africa are systematically being poached into extinction for their horns, which are used in Asian traditional medicine and are made into dagger handles in the Middle East. As the threat to elephants and rhinos reached alarming levels, governments and private sanctuaries have scaled up their anti-poaching strategies. But sadly, the efforts of rangers, many of whom lose their lives in the field, are not nearly enough to combat the insatiable demand for ivory and horns by the consumer world. The rangers will remove the tusks from this snared elephant, so they cannot be sold on the illegal market. Because as long as there is a demand, there will be those happy to supply the need.
Le Katanga, les Chinois viennent ici, c'est pour venir acheter. Les premiers commerçants ici au Congo, ce sont les Chinois pour l'ivoire. Ils viennent ici prendre l'ivoire. Ils achètent beaucoup d'ivoire ici au Congo, au Katanga.
Firearms and ivory are confiscated by officials when possible, and these kinds of stockpiles are found all over Central and Eastern Africa, sometimes to be illegally fed back into the black markets.
So these are savanna tusks. We have a mixture of different tusks here in the Garamba. Some of these are from forest elephants and some are from savanna. These are obviously huge tusks, and they represent some of the, once upon a time, vast herds of savanna elephants, which are now being poached by groups such as the LRA.
The black markets in animal products exist in many countries in Africa. In DRC, Steve was not allowed to film inside the market, but ivory traders agreed to bring their merchandise to the back of the car to be filmed.
It's a very sensitive subject, and obviously people don't want to be seen to be selling ivory, so we're having to do this covertly. These in particular are chopsticks, and I'll just pull one out of here. And these obviously are for the Chinese market, and so chopsticks are being sold by the thousands here, including ivory tusk and other objects. So again, this is an ivory tusk, obviously from a young elephant because it's not very large. Again, this is the sort of objects that have been sold openly here in the market in Kinshasa. You can see the size of this tusk here. It's obviously from a young elephant. And these again are being openly sold here.
There are open wildlife markets in Congo and DRC, but it's next to impossible to get access to film. Laurel Chor is a photographer and conservationist from Hong Kong. She has agreed to enter the markets with a camera and a cover story. She is telling the vendors that she's here to buy for her mother in China and needs film footage to show her mother what is on offer. A wide variety of wildlife products are available.
C'est combien, papa? $5. $100.
Illegal leopard and croc skins are popular items for sale.
Mais c'est plat, donc je peux le mettre dans la valise. Ouais. C'est lourd?
Non, non, ça ne pèse pas.
Ah.
Ça devient petit directement, vous le voyez? Ouais, comment il a appuyé ça?
Ouais. Donc ouais, on peut le mettre dans le sac alors.
Ouais.
Ouais. J'aime la queue. J'aime la queue. Ah.
As Laurel explores the depths of the markets, she finds the shocking and thriving business of the local bushmeat trade. Africa has a long tradition of consuming bush meat, but many of the species on sale alongside the vegetables are threatened or endangered.
Mais ça va être tout. Il y aura des mouches et des... Il y a des congélateurs là-bas?
The bushmeat trade across Africa is sucking the forests and savannas clean of important species, simply to end up on someone's dinner plate. Many people don't know or understand the importance of what they are consuming. Deep inside the Kinshasa market in DRC, Laurel finally finds the ivory stalls.
Donc celui-là c'est 400
Pardon?
400 pour discuter?
On va discuter.
J'ai dit 700.
700 à discuter.
700. Ça, c'est quelle matière?
Voilà. Chinois
Xiangya.
Laurel, a Cantonese speaker, has her pronunciation for chopsticks in Mandarin corrected by the trader, suggesting that he does regular business with Mandarin speakers.
Non, c'est ma mère. Ma mère, elle ne sait même pas ce que c'est l'Internet. Non, je veux pas ça. C'est beau, hein? J'adore.
What is very evident is that most of this ivory is from small tusks from immature elephants. This suggests that the younger elephants in the population are being decimated because many of the larger, older elephants are already gone.
C'est vrai que c'est beau, mais moi je préfère ça.
The items on these tables represent the lives of 200 elephants, now reduced to trinkets and chopsticks. If poaching continues at the present rate, and buyers continue to buy ivory, there will not be any elephants left within our lifetime. Laurel asks the vendor to film her and continues to pretend that she is shopping for her mother. The vendor asks if she will film him, but then he doesn't look so certain, as this may be a trap. It is sadly ironic that many of the carvings are of African animals that are so quickly disappearing. From the ivory markets in the heart of Africa, we follow the ivory trail to the shopping malls of Asia. Ivory is openly and elegantly displayed as a luxury item here in Thailand's capital, Bangkok. The brand names on display in this merging economy encourage shoppers to want more and spend more. With such rapid growth and relentless need for products, Asia and other economies are turning to Africa for their natural resources. Is the destruction of Africa's elephants and the unrelenting demand for ivory just a precursor of what is to come? Thailand has a ritual connection with elephants and a long tradition in ivory carving. Nakhon Sawan, on the road to Chiang Mai, is a town dedicated to the ivory trade. Generations of ivory carvers live and work here. One of the town's ivory merchants proudly wears his ivory Ganesh necklace. There are many shops that sell ivory objects and trinkets. Ivory prices in this case range from about $16 US for a single bead to $50 US for a ring, and the prices increase with the size of the items. Ironically, the Hindu elephant-headed god, Ganesh, is a common theme. Thailand has a long and complex history with elephants, woven into their Hindu and Buddhist past. There is a legal ivory trade in Thailand, but most of the ivory imported comes from the illegal black market in Africa. Confusion remains over the legal and illegal trade in ivory worldwide. The only way to stop it today is to ban the trade entirely. Loopholes in Thailand's laws have allowed smugglers to ferry illegal African ivory into the country, and oftentimes right on to China. The commercial port of Hong Kong, China, is one of Asia's great seafaring harbors and a major hub for the importation of ivory and rhino horn. Hong Kong is a vast trading metropolis and one of Asia's great commercial banking centers. With over 6 million inhabitants with business contacts throughout the world, Hong Kong is increasingly forging ties with the resource-rich continent of Africa. By the year 2030, China is predicted to be the planet's largest global economy, taking over from the United States. Here, on the streets of Kowloon, anyone can buy an African gray parrot, the very same variety seen in the markets of Congo. Shark fins and sea slugs are also for sale and eaten as a delicacy. As with Thailand and many other Asian nations, China has a long relationship with elephants, and ivory carving is a great Chinese tradition. Over 32 tons of illegally imported ivory is presently being held by Hong Kong Customs, and is due, we are told, to be crushed over a period of 3 years. In order to circumvent CITES restrictions on the illegal trade in ivory, many shops on Nathan Road display a mixture of illegal ivory next to legal ivory and mammoth tusks, which helps confuse the consumer on what they are seeing and buying. The global interest in Africa's ivory and other natural resources will not be ending soon, and will only become more and more competitive as the world needs and wants more. A half a world away in London, Laurel Chor arrives to meet world-renowned Dr. Jane Goodall.
Family had emotions, felt sad. People admire ivory carving for the craftsmanship and the artistry involved, but really you realize if you look a little closer that it was part of an elephant, and it can only be taken from a dead elephant.
So hopefully when people see this film and when they understand the extent of the cruelty involved, if people stop buying ivory, the killing will stop. That's what's so important, whether we're in China or the United States, which is the second importer of illegal ivory after China, or any other country. Just once you have the understanding, once you've reached somebody's heart, then behavior changes. You know, if you have it, I can understand you don't want to throw it away, but I would beg people not to display it.
On our return to Africa, we can appreciate the vast open spaces of this continent. Africa and its precious natural heritage must be respected as more than just a shopping cart of natural resources for the entire world to exploit. The future of Africa's biodiversity is in all of our hands. In the struggle that Africa will face as its forests are diminished and wildlife is destroyed and exploited, water, the source of all life, will become the next big global issue. In a previous age, Africa had a population of over 1 million rhinos, but today there are only some thousands left. African elephant populations are now in such rapid decline. Experts predict within 30 years, they will be gone forever. This has been a story of Africa today. We have met some of its most beloved animal species and followed the surprising trail of human destruction and consumption. The question now remains, what are we, the world's consumers, going to do about it?